So, like I mentioned, we've got 2 people here right now to the meeting, and we're going to have this inventory webinar again later this month, and we'll send an email blast for that. Just what we'd like to do is take just a couple of minutes of your time and just give you a little bit of history about Mandarin for those of you that are not familiar with us, as well as a little bit of information about myself. Can everybody see the Mandarin logo on the screen? Yes. Perfect. So just to kind of give you an idea, a little bit of background about Mandarin, we're providing library automation systems since 1986. And the sole focus of our company, providing library automation systems, services, and supplies. And our M3 system, which is our Windows-based system, and that's what we're going to talk about today, inventory with Mandarin M3, was released in 1998, and we have a web OPAC that also works with Mandarin M3. And Mandarin Oasis, that's our fully web-based system. That was brought to the marketplace in 2005, and we offer Oasis in 2 formats. One, we install it at your library, and one where we host the system for the library. And just to kind of give you an idea where we are in the marketplace, we have almost 4,000 libraries using our system worldwide, and we're installed in over 35 countries. A little bit about myself. I've been with Mandarin for 20 years. Vice President of Operations, part owner of the company, and have over 29 years of technical expertise in other areas as well. And Holly's a librarian. Holly's been a trainer since 2000 and has over 18 years of technical expertise in other areas as well. And he's also on our local Board of Trustees, as President of the Board of Trustees for her library in Weehawken, New Jersey. For those of you that have not visited our office, this is a picture of our corporate office in sunny Boca Raton, Florida. Been in that building since the ladies, and it's a great place to visit. We have librarians come down and visit with us all the time. We have a neat little cafe inside the building, so always welcome to stop by and visit with us. It's a great place, especially as you imagine in January and February. So at this point, we'll go ahead and we'll get right into the inventory part of the webinar. And I know we have these webinars at least once a month, and we're always open to new ideas or suggestions for webinars. So please, at any time, just send me an email with ideas on webinars that you'd like to see. I know, Rebecca, you've joined, I think, and participated in most of our webinars, haven't you?
Quite a few of them, yes.
Yeah, good. Do you find them helpful?
Oh, yeah. I wish more librarians would participate.
Well, this month we're going to have the same inventory webinar on the 27th of June, so we'll send an email blast for that. So, of course, them at any time. So at this point, we'll go and turn things over to Holly. And before we get started, does anybody have any questions?
Hey, good morning, everyone. If you do have any questions, please just stop me during the webinar, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. As Art mentioned, today we're going to speak about inventory in M3. So the inventory module will allow you to do a full inventory of your collection as well as a partial inventory. So throughout the course of the year, if you do not have the time to do a full inventory, stop the library, close everything, and do a full inventory, you can do partial inventories throughout the course of the year. And we will go into the inventory module now and show you a little bit about it and how to do partial inventory as well as a full inventory. The first thing that I'm going to do is open up the inventory module. So I'll just click on the module and enter in my login and password. Okay, the first thing thing that you need to do when it comes to inventory, of course, is scan your collection. So if you're going to do a partial inventory, you can scan one section. Then you can upload that information from your tricoder and put it onto your computer. You can save it in a file somewhere, or you can save it on your desktop, where you can readily access that file. And then, of course, if you decide that you want to go back out and inventory another section, excuse me, you can come back later on and upload more sections to then do a full inventory. Of course, the library would have to be closed to do this, because once you started circulating items, that's going to change the information that you have scanned. What the inventory module does is it takes what you've scanned on your shelves and it compares it to what's in your database as well as what's been circulated out. And it's going to come back and it's going to give you a list of items that are misplaced, items that are missing, if you're doing a partial inventory, items that are out of range, invalid barcodes, and we'll talk a little bit more about all of that as we get into the inventory. So if you do not have a tricoder, you could always take a laptop, put it in a cart, and go around your library and just use your circulation scanner to scan the items into a notepad. You can save that notepad as a file. And that's actually how I'm going to do the inventory today. I've saved barcodes into a notepad file and have it on my desktop. And I'm going to show you how to add that file to the inventory session. The first thing that we're going to do after scanning the items is come into inventory and create a new session. Once I create a new session, I say inventory module, and it's broken up into different parts. On the left-hand side, I have my barcode section of where I'm actually going to see my barcodes being uploaded. And then on the right-hand side, I'm going to see information about the items after I do the inventory. And once we do an inventory, I'm going to explain to you what all of these tabs are. So to upload information from the tricoder, I come over here to File, and I go to Upload from Reader. Once I do that, instruction window pops up, and it tells me what to do. It tells me to connect my tricoder. Now, if you have an older tricoder, you would be connecting it to the keyboard port behind the computer. If you have a newer tricoder, it probably has a USB connection, so you would not have to plug that into the keyboard port. You could plug it into any USB port. Once the tricoder is plugged in and then turned on, you are going to go to tricoder and you're going to press no when the tricoder asks you if you want to do data collection. And the next thing it's going to ask you is, do you want to do data upload? And you'll press yes for that. And those instructions are mapped out for you right here. The next thing that you're going to see is a bunch of barcodes in this space. Once all of the barcodes have been entered, you're going to click Save and Add. That file now will be saved here in the barcode section. Well, we'll talk about out of sequence a little bit later. That's the one way of adding your barcodes via the tricoder. The other way is if you did scan the items into a notepad file, you would then just have a file on your computer. For that, we're going to come back to File, but this time we're going to go to Add Barcode File. Then just going to browse my desktop, and I'm going to change this from barcode files to all files, because since it's in a notepad file, it's not being saved with the barcode extension. We're just going to go through some files, and we see that it's right here. What I've done is I've scanned my 000s to my 100s because I'm just going to do a small partial inventory. So that I name the file accordingly. This is going to help you distinguish which file is which. So if you are doing a bunch of partial inventories, you'll have all your files set up on your computer. So what I'm going to do is just double-click this, and by double-clicking it, it adds it to my barcode section. So we can see the name of my file. In parentheses, it tells me how many barcodes are in that file, and if I wanted to look at those barcodes, I can just click the expand button and see all of the barcodes. From here, I could delete a barcode. If I wanted to click on the barcode, I could right mouse click and I could remove this barcode. Also, if a book comes back in right at the same time that I'm doing my inventory and it belongs in this section, I can click add barcode and I can scan that information in. If you happen to be doing a full inventory and you start to get books that come back, that's where out of sequence comes in. You take all of those books that come back and scan them, upload them, and just add them to the out of sequence section. And then the system will account for those books, knowing that they're out of order. So the thing that we have to do is tell the system what type of inventory that we want to do. So I'm going to come here to Action, and I'm going to go to Inventory Options. In Inventory Options, you can set up your institution's name, and what that will do is customize the reports that print out. You have a choice of in any of your databases. So you have an equipment database, a library database. If you happen to have other databases, you will see them here. Under barcode patterns, you could go in and set up if you have different types of barcode patterns, such as leading zeros or trailing characters. You can tell the system what that barcode pattern is. Also, down where it says call number range, this is where we're going to set up our partial inventory. So I already have an inventory range in here. I'm going to delete that just by highlighting it and clicking delete range. Next thing I need to do is I want to put in what my new range is. So I'm going to click new range. I'm going to type in 00 to 100 because I want to inventory my 100s. Now it's important to always put in a whole number or letter and end with a whole number or letter. Because if I would have put in 000 to 099, I would not be inventorying my 099.99. They would be left out. So what I'm telling the system to do here is start at 000 and end at 100 to make sure that it does inventory any of those books that may have a point and then characters after it. Does anybody have any questions about what I've done so far?
No.
Okay. I'm going to click OK. Now we have our call number range in here. Also, you can let the system know if the barcodes are case sensitive just by selecting this box. And you can tell the system to check the call number sequence by selecting this option here. I also select what font my report will be printed in by going to the drop-down menu and picking a font size. I'm going to click Save, and I'm ready to do my partial inventory. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to go to Action, and I'm going to go to Do Inventory. The system now just went through that, and it said, okay, out of everything you scanned in, I looked in the database and compared what database versus what you scanned, and then I looked in the circulation module to see what was there. And it gives us back a list. It says you have 3 missing items and you have 1 misplaced item. So we can go in and we can take a look at this. And while we do that, I'm going to explain the different tabs. First, you have newly found. A newly found book would be an item that was found during the import process that you had previously marked as missing. So at some point during the year, you marked that book as missing, but when you did an inventory, it was scanned. So this is letting you know this book was found. Your next book or your next tab is missing. These are the items that are missing from the inventory. Okay, and we'll notice that these items are professional books. So it leads us back here to we went into inventory options. We told the system to ignore the prefix. So therefore it ignored the prefix and it's saying that these professional books are missing. If we wanted to just inventory the non-fiction section, and we don't want it to go in and look at any reference books or any professional books, anything that has a prefix, we can come over here and put a check mark next to prefix and leave that blank. What would happen now is the system would go in and it would look for everything that didn't have a prefix. And it would know there was a prefix there, reference, professional, that it wouldn't count it into this inventory. Another thing that we can do with prefix is, let's say that we only wanted to inventory the professional collection, or only wanted to inventory the reference collection. Well, then I can put the prefix of professional here, and what the system is going to do is only inventory anything that has a prefix of professional and is also, in this case, within 000 to 100. Questions about any of that?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So next tab that we have after missing, and when it comes to missing items, if you see that these items are missing, a lot of times what librarians will do is go to the shelves, check to make sure that they're actually missing items. And if they are, you could come up here to where it says Action and mark missed items. So then the system will automatically change the status for you from normal to missing. You do not have to go into the catalog module after the inventory and mark everything as missing. You do it right here. Next thing that we have is Invalid Barcode. An invalid barcode simply means it's not your barcode. Maybe it belongs to a public library. Maybe it belongs to the school library. Maybe you inadvertently scanned the UPC code. It's just not your barcode. Then you can go, if you do have any invalid barcodes, you can check them, and if they are indeed books on the shelves, you can go take those books off the shelf and see where they do belong or who they do belong to. Next, you have misplaced. Misplaced items simply mean that the item is out of shelf list order. So here we have a book, and it's telling us that the item computers is actually before Computer Wars. It's telling you where to go find it. And we can see that this is out of shelf list order based on the item part or the cutter. This book, Computer Wars, which is 001.6 HAR, actually belongs before 01.6 OBR. And it's just telling you where to go find it. Books were just switched on the shelf. Any questions about that? Okay. Next, you have lone shelved. Lone shelved means that you scan the item in your inventory, but once it checked the circulation module, it found that the item was actually checked out to somebody in circulation. So it shows that it's on loan to someone. So you can take that book and then you can return it in the circulation module. module. No barcode. No barcode means that the system cannot find a barcode in the MARC record, but there was a barcode on the book. So it's been some type of a cataloging error. And again, you can just grab that book and you can open up the cataloging module and scan the barcode into the MARC record. Duplicate barcodes are any barcodes that have been duplicated in the system. This really pertains to customers that were running 2.8, was one of our older programs. Now M3 does not allow duplicate barcodes. You shouldn't see duplicate barcodes in your inventory. We have out of range. Out of range means if we're doing a partial inventory, the system found books that are in another category here in the 000s to 100s, and it's letting you know what item it is and where it can be found. The last tab is a statistics tab. You could print this if you wanted to. This shows you the inventory that you did, the call number range that you scanned. It shows you how many items you scanned, how many bibliographic records you have, therefore what's the percentage of the number of holdings per bibliographic record. It shows you the number of holdings in your database, number of holdings in the selected range. So I scanned 14 barcodes, and there are actually 17 items in the 000s to the 100s, and that is why I got 3 missing books. It will also give you information to the number of items that were previously marked as missing, the cost of the previously missing items, the percentage of newly missed items, and the cost of those missing items. So you can do analysis here and see how much those missing items are costing the library. And each one of these tabs can be printed out. To print a tab, you can come over here to File, and then you can go to Print Statistics, and it would print this page for you. If you wanted to print your missing list, you would just click on Missing. You would go to File, and then Print Missing List. You can save inventory reports. You can also save inventory sessions and open them up at a later date. You can export the reports or the different lists. You're able to do that. There's also a help built right into inventory. So if you needed to go in and quickly find anything, you can just go to you're on the web, and you can go to the home page. You can go to the sort page. You can also find out some information about the inventory module. If you wanted to find out which version of inventory you're running, you would be able to find that out on the home page. Do you have any questions that I can answer for you about the inventory module?
Well, that sounds very nice.
Okay. Do you have any other M3 questions that you'd like to ask at this time? I would like to open up the discussion to any M3 questions if you have them.
Okay. On the home page, you said you would go to get the. What was that last thing you said? I'm sorry. You said go to the home page to.
Oh no, I was just pointing out that there's a help feature here.
Okay.
So if you want more information, you could go to the Mandarin's homepage, our website, our support service page. This is just a help feature.
Okay.
We also have an inventory handout available on our website that you can download under documentation. It's an easy how-to handout that you can keep next to you while you're doing inventory, and you can access that when you're ready to do your inventory.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Rebecca, have you done this before? Have you used this?
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
planning to do an inventory very, very soon?
I do, as soon as I get a tricorder.
I'll bring you one.
Okay, great.
Good.
Yeah, this is great. This would be great. Yeah.
Any other questions for us?
I don't think so.
And Holly mentioned we do have some handouts that we can send to you, and certainly help you, the inventory process as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just I wanted to mention we have another webinar today at 1 o'clock on inventory using our Oasis system. So very similar, but just wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
Right. How often do you have these webinars? Because I'm fairly new. I still need to learn a lot about Mandarin. Working in a prison, I just don't really have a lot of time to play with it. So,
sure. At least
okay.
we have them at least once a month. This month we're having two. We're having a second webinar on the 27th of June on inventory.
Okay.
And we're also recording these. So we have these on our website that you can view at your when you do have time. And in addition to recording webinars, we're also creating a library of videos for various parts of the program. So that's kind of a great way for you to learn at your convenience. So that's also on our website, through Customer Corner.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And need help getting that, just let me know. We'll be happy to guide you to the videos as well as the recorded webinars.
Okay.
Good. All right. Yeah. Well, no other questions. Really like to thank you for your time and look forward to seeing you at future webinars. And hope you have a good rest of the day.
Okay. Because I registered for this one, will I be notified by one of you when there's an upcoming one, or do I have to just keep checking the website?
Yeah, it's a great question. We send out an email at least a week before the webinars. So you should be receiving that email.
Yeah, we're